blood scandal. It's on the front page of the Observer today.
Yeah, I'm really pleased that this is getting a lot of momentum. This was on the front page,
finally.
the front page of the Sunday Times last week, getting dozens of MPs to sign up to a proper inquiry, proper apology, proper compensation for victims of the inflected blood scandal. And the Observer have done another story today discussing the basis of where this blood scandal came from, and also who knew what and when. So the infected blood scandal is centred on haemophiliacs who were unknowingly given in the 70s and 80s this blood product derived from America, which subsequently gave them, in some cases, HIV, hepatitis C. Other stories, a lady talking to the BBC recently was saying that she went into hospital after giving birth. She was given a blood transfusion and she basically woke up with hepatitis C and all these other illnesses, and the life-limiting impact on her, severe illness afterwards, the stigma of having hepatitis, telling people you got hepatitis C and people thinking you're a drug addict or you have lots of illicit sex or something like that. The Observer talk about the basis of where this story came from, where in America, across several states, they were basically farming blood from convicted convicts and giving them money and various other people money for the blood samples and giving lots of plasma so they could create these products for haemophiliacs. But there was no check and care as to whether or not these convicts had these awful illnesses, etc. And, of course, if you take one, and this is the true horror of it, if you take one blood sample from one person who's got HIV and then mix it with all of these other samples, the whole sample then has it, and then these are given to children in the UK in the 70s, 80s. These are given to patients who went in for entirely normal conditions and then left with these awful, awful cases. And they spoke to an American doctor who said as early as 1975 he was warning the American government and by proxy the British government who would have known. And it was sort of, we're taking blood in this way. It's been used in medicines. It's used in transfusions in the UK. Why aren't we doing something about it? So there's going to be almost a post office-style inquiry of who knew what and when, who got away with it, who made money out of it, and how many people are affected. And it's impacted people still to this day who are living with life-limiting conditions. They've lost parents, they've lost loved ones, they've lost children. No answers, no apologies, no compensation.
It's horrific.
No pun intended, it actually makes my blood boil, and it's quite sickening, actually. And I just think it's really shocking how this has not been brought to light or not really looked into almost, 50 years later, and knowing that people have now had this lifelong sentence. It's really a miscarriage of justice here, and it's just sad. I think I've heard that ITV are planning to do a series on this, actually, so it will get further attention, but it's just sad that it takes it to either come on TV for these things to be really brought into the public's attention, and also just more for the victims getting the justice they deserve.
Yeah, it's horrific.
It's just absolutely horrific.
What's this in the Telegraph, Stephanie, about Prince Harry?
Well, he's